Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to build a AI agent which is going to respond to every incoming email. We are going to use Zapier and Voiceflow for this. Zapier will be functioning as a connector between the email account and Voiceflow. And Voiceflow is a software which allows us to create AI agents. So let's dive in and let's go immediately to the flowchart to give you an understanding how it works. So it works with starting with the incoming email trigger. So we are going to install a mail hook inside the email account. Once that is installed, each time you receive a new email, the automation in Zapier will go on. And then the first thing what we are going to do is via the thread ID, we are going to check if the session is, it exists, yes or no. If it exists, then we let the AI agent read the email and generate a response. And we can then reply directly or via a draft reply. And if it doesn't exist, we are launching a new session with a thread ID and then do the same thing basically. So like I said, we are going to use Voiceflow for this. Voiceflow allows you to create AI agents, and if you use my link in the description, you will get 1,000 bonus credits extra. So make sure you use my link, and then once you're inside Voiceflow, on the left side you will see the menu, and then you can click on projects, and then click on new projects, and then you can start from scratch. I will call it Zapier X Voiceflow, and then start from scratch. All right, so the agent inside Voiceflow is created, and we will customize it in a moment, how it should respond and everything else. But let's publish it. So we can already use the API key. So while it is publishing, we'll go to Zapier. There will be also a link in the description to Zapier. Once we are inside Zapier, we are going to build this automation. And I'm going to build this automation from scratch, but we are going to do the same thing what I have shown here in the flowchart. So new email, we will find the email and we will get the thread ID from here. Then we have the fetch session ID. If it exists, then we are going to follow this path. And if not, we first going to start a new agent conversation and then do the same thing. So let's build it from scratch. So inside Zapier, navigate to create and then create zaps. Over here, the first module, you'd have to create a trigger. So the trigger will be the email hook. So search to email. And then the event must be new inbound email. Click on continue. For example, I will type here Zap X Voiceflow. Let me copy this. And that email hook, you should add it in your settings. So if you go to your Gmail settings, so over here and then see more, then you'd have to go to navigate to forwarding and pop IMAP, and then the forwarding, add a forwarding address. This should be the mail hook. So we'll also test the trigger. Probably it doesn't give us anything. Next. Oh, I have to fill in my phone number. Okay, so I just verified myself. Click on proceed. Okay, so there has been sent a confirmation link. So let's test it again. And voila, the email is received. So it is saying like we have to verify that mail hook. So what you should do is go to the body plane, and then over here they are saying like click on the link below to confirm the request. We cannot click it, but you have to copy it. And then paste it in your search. And now it's going to say like, please confirm forwarding mail of Abdullah at Adaptive AI. Confirm. Let's go back and voila. You can see it is saying forward a copy of incoming email to this mail hook. So let's test it again by sending me a test email. But from now on, each time I receive a new email, it should also send that email to this mail hook. You'd have to also select that option, don't forget that. And save changes. Okay, so let's test this mail hook once again. Once I have it, once I'm retesting this step again, I should see a email B, for example. Yeah. So test email is received. Let's retest this step. Or find new records. And voila, email B. There you go. So the subject is test, body plane test, and the email address. So this works, this trigger works. So each time you receive a new email, this automation triggers immediately. You can do the same with a mail hook inside make.com. So the next step should be inside Gmail, the find email step. Why? Is because this module doesn't give us a thread ID, and the thread ID is very important in this automation. And I'm going to show you why later on, but it is very important. So find email, select the email account, and then let's, for demonstration, send myself an email and call it test. And voila, just received it. So if I go to okay, so let's use a search string / and then the search string must be the body plane. It's already set up correctly, as I can see. It's going to return the first result. So it's going to use literally the body text, everything one-on-one, and search an email with that same body. And the first result will be retrieved. And then if I'm going to test this step, it will return for us a ID, the thread ID. Extremely important. But yeah, it works. This is good. This is what we want. So the next step will be the webhook. So you have to type in webhook. In make.com, you'd have to type HTTP. And then your event is get. And what we are going to do, the API named is fetch user state. So that's what we are going to do. If you go to the URL, Voiceflow, they also have the API reference. We are using this API reference, the fetch state, and copy up until here, the last /, copy everything there, and paste it in the URL, and then the user ID will be the thread ID. Okay. So once you have selected the thread ID, you'd have to go to the headers and type in authorization. And then go to your Voiceflow chatbot. And you are probably over here. You'd have to go to the settings in the menu on the left side, scroll down, and then you will see API keys. Copy the API key and paste it next to the authorization. And then version ID. The next step will be version ID. So you'd have to click add a new value, version ID, and then production. Have I done it correctly? Yeah. Okay. That's what we want. Now, it is or going to return nothing, or it's going to return like a bunch of data, like all the variables, if the last event, etc. Let me demonstrate it. So right now, let me copy this thread ID. So right now inside the webhook postman, if I paste here the thread ID, it should return nothing. Voila, there's no data. This will change after we have used the module for starting a conversation. Before that, we need to create two paths. One path is for if it exists, so if there is any data, especially the user ID, then we are following this path, and if no, in this case there's nothing, then we are following this path. So path. So now we have two paths. I'm going to install the conditions in a moment. The next step will be adding Voiceflow. So Voiceflow to have this native integrations, which is new. So make sure you have selected Voiceflow and then select your account. So you'd have to click on Connect New Account. And then they are asking your Voiceflow API key. So the API key you have copied a moment ago. So you can find it over here. And then they are asking your project ID, which you can find under General in here, project ID. Do that, and then you can connect it. In case I have selected Zapier Voiceflow, in your case you have to connect it. And then choose event, and the event is Start Agent Conversation. Very important. Agent version, it is in production. The user ID is a thread ID. The thread ID, we can find it in the second module. And that's all you need to do. Test step. And voila. The step after launching the conversation is let the AI agent in Voiceflow generate a response. So send message to agent. So we are going to send the body. So this first thing is agent version is production. The user ID is, again, it's over here. And then the message will be from the first module, body plane. And then click on continue and test step. You should see here a response. Yeah. So the message, hi, I see you are testing the system. Perfect. That's perfectly fine. Perfect. And so this, the payload, is what we are going to use in the response. So after the second module from Voiceflow, you'd have then to go to Gmail or Outlook, whatever you are using, choose the event, and you can then choose if you want to reply to an email or create a draft reply. In my case, I'm going to create a draft reply. The thread ID, so click on the three dots, because now it is static, you don't want that, we want it dynamically, so go to the three dots over here, click on custom, and then go to the second module once again. I mean, you can tell how important the thread ID is. Like I said in the beginning, it is super important that we can have that we can use a thread ID. So thread to who? To the person who has sent us the email. Over from email, yeah, this one. There's no CC, no BCC. You can always add someone. From me, of course, this email. And then the body should be the output from the 7th module. Payload message. So let's see. Yeah, it's this one. And click on continue. Test step. voila. If I go to my email account and then to drafts, it should have now created a draft. It does. And you can see here, to who? To this email account. And like I said, you can always also choose to send the email directly. In my case, I like to have it via draft, and also for the sake of this video to show you the email, the draft email. But what I would recommend you is, if you are building this for your business or whatsoever, do it first via draft, test out, see if the chatbot is responding well, and you can also in the meantime like optimize your chatbot. And if you are confident, you can then change this action to send email directly. Then the second path will be the same, but without the launch session. So this module, we don't need it. So the same thing, Voiceflow module, choose that, choose action, choose your action or event, send message, make sure the right Voiceflow account is connected. Production, user ID, second module, thread ID. We are giving it the incoming email to respond. That's all you need to do. Test step. Is there a response? It should indicate slightly that it already has responded. I hear you, yeah. Okay, this is good. And then again, same thing, create draft reply. So Gmail module, choose your event, create draft reply, thread ID, click on those three dots, custom thread ID, to who you can find the email address inside the first module is from email, CC, BCC is not needed for this video then. From, you have to click your own email account, and then paste the response from the agent step. No signature is needed. We don't have to label it for this video, but maybe you want to. You can then select which label it is, and that's it. It now also has created a second draft. Perfect. Now those conditions in this module. So let me go to Postman first to demonstrate what happened. So right now, once we have tested out this a couple minutes ago, it gave us no data. But now we have created a new conversation. So it should now give us some data back. And it does. So this module from Voiceflow, it works. It launched the new session. Maybe if I go to the last event, it will also say launch. Last event. Oh, the last event because we had the second step, but okay. Okay, so it works. The most important thing for the router is the user ID. So can we find here any user ID? Yes, we can find it. And this user ID is the thread ID. Okay. What you should do now. So this path is when the user ID doesn't exist. So if the response was empty, it means there's no user ID, it should go to path A. So if you go to the conditions tab, only continue if we haven't completed this step. Okay, perfect. Now select your third module, and now you can see here the data, same thing what we have found inside the Postman. And then user ID. And then the last step is, if the user ID doesn't exist, go to this path. If it exists, go to this path. So only continue if, get the user ID. If it exists, then it should go here. Amazing. So what is happening is First time getting an email, not from a same thread, we will get the email, we will get the thread ID, we will fetch the user state, if the session ID has created, yes or no, if it retrieves any data. If no data, it will go to path A, it will create a new session, it then let the agent step create a response and create a draft reply. But if it exists, the agent within Voiceflow already has the context. So the agent inside Voiceflow is going to respond to the email, and that response we are going to use it directly inside the Gmail module create draft reply. Okay, so let's go to Voiceflow. So inside Voiceflow we have the agent tab. This is this. You can also have the message tab if you want like fixed messages. You can also create like images, card, carousels, have like an AI set block here, which does like one task and continues, for example. Listen, if you want to have like buttons, like we all know, those chatbots with buttons, etc. Also the condition steps and more. For now, we are going to use like this agent step inside Voiceflow is now responding to the emails. For example, if you don't like the responses it's going to give us, you can fix the prompt here. Like you can tell it, hey, you are working for my company, this is your function, and you can give it access to the knowledge base. You can give it the LLM description, for example, and how many chunks it can retrieve. The knowledge base you can edit over here. So it can be like PDFs, sitemaps, URLs, etc. But you can tell like the agent tab, like, hey, if you get a question, go to the knowledge base, use the information what you can find over there, and respond to their question. That's all you need to do, for example. You can also create like different condition steps. So if they are asking about returning a product, it then automatically will go to the agent tab, which is specialized in returning products. And it can then, you can give it like tools. I'm not going to create a secondary agent tab, but you should create a secondary agent tab for example, returning products. And you can connect it, for example, with your API, with your Shopify account, for example, or if you want to create a case, you can do it within HubSpot or check the Google Sheet, for example, or you fill in user information in Salesforce, you name it. So more of that you can find it inside my YouTube channel, how you can customize your agent steps. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and if you want to work together, there are also links in the description for booking a meeting with me or fill in my form. So thank you for watching and see you the next time.